Top bands Ozzy Osbourne hated the most is a revelation that fans never expected, shedding light on the surprising opinions of the Prince of Darkness about his peers and contemporaries in rock and metal. Known for his groundbreaking work with Black Sabbath and his legendary solo career, Ozzy has spent decades shaping the heavy metal landscape, but even icons have strong opinions about other artists. In candid interviews and behind-the-scenes stories, Ozzy has occasionally shared his disdain for certain bands, explaining why their music, performances, or personalities rubbed him the wrong way. Some of the bands he criticized were those he felt were overhyped, lacking authenticity, or trying too hard to imitate the sound and style that he helped pioneer. Unlike fans, who may enjoy these groups or consider them influential, Ozzy approached music from the perspective of someone who lived and breathed the craft, and his critiques were often rooted in his belief that real talent should be backed by originality, passion, and stage presence. Sources reveal that some of the bands he disliked the most were those whose image or gimmicks overshadowed their musical abilities, or whose performances seemed insincere compared to the raw energy and emotion Ozzy prized. He also openly expressed frustration with bands that, in his view, failed to innovate or push boundaries, instead relying on formulaic approaches to achieve fame and commercial success. While Ozzy's words could be harsh, they reflect the perspective of a man who has dedicated his life to music and has very high standards for artistry, performance, and authenticity. Fans and insiders noted that his criticism was not personal in the sense of animosity, but rather a reflection of his uncompromising expectations for what rock and metal should be: powerful, honest, and transformative. The revelations are fascinating because they show a side of Ozzy that is rarely seen, the discerning, brutally honest music lover who doesn't hesitate to call out what he perceives as mediocrity or pretension. This is the same man who can praise other artists endlessly when they impress him, yet who also does not shy away from pointing out shortcomings when a band fails to meet his standards. The story is both surprising and enlightening because it reminds fans that even legends like Ozzy Osbourne have strong opinions, preferences, and standards when it comes to music. It humanizes him, showing that beyond the theatrics, the wild persona, and the decades of fame, he is someone who feels deeply about music and the integrity of the art form. Ultimately, learning which bands Ozzy Osbourne hated the most gives fans a rare glimpse into his mind, revealing his tastes, his frustrations, and his uncompromising commitment to the values that made him one of the most influential figures in rock and metal history. It's a reminder that behind the stage makeup, wild antics, and larger-than-life performances is a man with a clear, passionate, and sometimes controversial perspective on the music he loves.